bust my lip.
His hands on you?
Bust my lip the first time. Second time, this happened like 2 days ago. He hit me in my face. But he stole my $10 and he stole my charger. So I wanted my money back. So he like, what? Who you talking to? Like, it's like he wants me to be a child to him.
Right.
And I'm not there, so.
Welcome to California, a sun-drenched haven where the glittering stardust of Hollywood mingles with the vast fortunes of Silicon Valley. Should this golden state stand alone as an independent nation, its economy, boasting a gross domestic product exceeding $3 trillion, would rank as the 5th largest globally. It is indeed a realm defined by its breathtaking innovation and unparalleled opulence. Yet, if we were to shift our gaze downwards, just a scant few inches away from the shimmering red carpets and the pristine, glass-walled tech campuses, we would encounter the most profoundly shameful paradox of our 21st century. Beneath the swaying palm trees of Los Angeles and the iconic, fog-shrouded bridges of San Francisco, a veritable army of the dispossessed is silently burgeoning. By the year 2026, an alarming figure exceeding 180,000 individuals will be grappling with homelessness within the Golden State's borders. This staggering statistic represents nearly 1/3 of the entire homeless population across the United States, all concentrated within a single state that proudly champions itself as the very vanguard of civilization's future. This is Homeless US. Today, we embark on a comprehensive, deep-dive investigation into what we've termed the Gilded Cage. Our focus extends beyond merely observing the rows of tents. We are scrutinizing the intricate gears of the very machine that systematically erected them. The critical question arises: how has the wealthiest state in the Union devolved into such a palpable epicenter of human misery? Throughout this extensive 5,500-word journey, we are committed to meticulously dismantling the prevailing myths. We will bravely expose the housing-to-income decoupling, a phenomenon that has tragically transformed dedicated teachers and compassionate nurses into desperate vehicle dwellers. We will delve into the ominous fentanyl shadow, which has regrettably rendered the once vibrant streets of San Diego and Fresno into grim chemical battlegrounds. Furthermore, we will critically examine the political mirage, the colossal sums, billions of dollars purportedly spent on solutions, yet whose tangible results seem to eerily vanish into the vast Pacific air. California serves as an urgent, stark warning. It offers a chilling preview of the societal decay that inevitably ensues when a community's spiraling cost of living tragically eclipses its inherent soul. We are prepared to navigate through these shadow cities, from the desolate riverbeds of Orange County to the forgotten underpasses of Sacramento, where countless human beings are forced to subsist in conditions that blatantly defy the fundamental principles of the Geneva Convention, all unfolding tragically within the very heart of the American dream. Prepare yourself for an uncomfortable revelation. This is not the curated, picture-perfect California that dominates your Instagram feeds. This is the raw, unedited, and often brutal truth of a state that appears to be triumphantly winning the race for unprecedented wealth, yet, in a tragic irony, is simultaneously sacrificing its fundamental humanity. This is California, the Gilded Cage. Part 2. The Eviction Algorithm, the Death of the Middle Class. In California, the escalating crisis of homelessness transcends simplistic narratives of bad choices. Fundamentally, it's a stark problem of mathematics, specifically an economic equation that has tragically ceased to add up for the vast majority of ordinary human beings. For many decades, the very foundation of the American dream rested upon a seemingly straightforward ratio. The principle that one's rent or mortgage payments should ideally constitute approximately 30% of their total income. Yet by 2026, in bustling metropolitan centers like San Jose or Oakland, this sacred ratio has been utterly shattered. For the lowest 40% of wage earners, The crushing burden of housing costs now devours an astonishing 60, 70, or even a staggering 80% of their hard-earned take-home pay. These individuals are what economists aptly term the predisplaced. They exist in a precarious state. Merely one unforeseen car breakdown or one severe flu season away from being irrevocably cast onto the cold, unforgiving sidewalk. Allow us to introduce Sarah. We encountered her in a designated safe parking lot in the picturesque city of Monterey. At 44 years old, Sarah holds a master's degree in education, a testament to her dedication. For a remarkable 15 years, she diligently served as a teacher within the California public school system. Yet today, her home is a modest 2019 Subaru Outback. I didn't lose my job because I was bad at it, Sarah recounts to us, her voice remarkably calm, yet her eyes betraying a profound, bone-deep exhaustion. I lost my home simply because my landlord's property was acquired by a private equity firm. They then employed an impersonal algorithm to unilaterally determine that the market value of my apartment had inexplicably soared by $900 overnight. There was no human being available to appeal to, no one who cared that I had a flawless record of never missing a single payment. The algorithm, in its cold efficiency, designated me an underperforming asset, and the eviction notice was chillingly generated by a bot even before I had finished my morning coffee. This is the devastating impact of the eviction algorithm. By 2026, the California housing market has become so profoundly financialized that it borders on the absurd. Homes are no longer regarded as fundamental human shelters. Instead, they have been transmuted into mere speculative instruments for vast global investment funds. Consequently, when a family is forcibly removed from their apartment, it is not perceived as a human tragedy in the cold calculus of the system. It is simply deemed an optimization. Sarah's poignant narrative echoes the experiences of thousands across the state. In Orange County alone, a staggering figure of over 7,000 individuals are systematically processed through this unforgiving system each year. These are not vagrants in any traditional sense. They represent the emergent new homeless, individuals who were once established professionals, now desperately striving to maintain a fragile facade of normalcy and stability, even as their nights are spent sleeping within the confines of metal box. The insidious gilded cage is deliberately designed to remain largely invisible to the wider public. As long as these displaced workers can still manage to commute to their jobs, the prevailing system appears utterly indifferent to where they lay their heads at night. However, as Sarah eloquently shared with us, you can only sustain the pretense of being a functioning citizen for so long before sheer exhaustion inevitably breaks you. When that vital car finally breaks down, that is the moment the gilded cage irrevocably shuts. Part 3. The chemical trap, fentanyl in the fog. While the relentless housing crisis provides the underlying fuel, it is the escalating drug epidemic that ignites the devastating spark, burning countless lives irrevocably to the ground. Across California's burgeoning shadow cities, from the forgotten alleys of San Francisco to the beleaguered parks of Riverside, a new and exponentially more lethal enemy has firmly taken hold. The deadly phenyl cocktail. In 2025, California proudly reported a historic 9% dip in unsheltered homelessness, a statistic eagerly celebrated by politicians. However, a profoundly different narrative emerges when you speak with individuals directly impacted on the ground in places like Kern County or San Bernardino. They will reveal that the numbers didn't simply drop due to effective housing initiatives. Tragically, they decline because the devastating death toll among the unsheltered population is relentlessly rising. According to a comprehensive 2024 study conducted by American Addiction Centers, which has since been updated for 2026, The grim risk of experiencing a fatal opioid overdose is 6 times higher for an unsheltered individual compared to someone who possesses the security of a roof over their head. Within California, drug-related emergencies alone account for a staggering figure of over 270,000 interactions with emergency services annually. This stark reality is not indicative of mere recreational drug use. This is unequivocally survival numbing. You simply cannot comprehend true cold until you've endured a night sleeping on damp concrete in Oakland, explains Jax, a 28-year-old who currently resides in a tent pitched perilously close to a freeway off-ramp. Your very bones ache with an unbearable chill. Your mind is a relentless, screaming torment. The drug, for us, isn't a party or an escape. It's a desperate, fleeting blanket. It's the solitary thing that renders the harsh reality of this alleyway bearable, even if just for 5 agonizing minutes. But the inherent tragedy is that desperate blanket eventually tightens its grip and becomes a cruel, inescapable cage. The cycle is tragically vicious and perpetually self-fulfilling. An individual collapses on a San Diego sidewalk. A concerned bystander immediately calls 911. Paramedics promptly arrive, administer Narcan, and successfully revive them. They are then transported to an emergency room, where they are stabilized for a mere 4 hours, only to be, due to the glaring absence of available long-term recovery beds, discharged directly back onto the very same sidewalk where they had originally collapsed. Without the foundational stability of secure housing, genuine recovery remains an elusive ghost. One simply cannot begin to heal when perpetually living within what amounts to a daily war zone. In opulent Napa County, where lavish wine tours command thousands of dollars, the profound lack of accessible treatment programs for its approximately 800 homeless residents stands as a silent, yet egregious scandal. We have, in essence, constructed an emergency-only system. Society appears willing to allocate a staggering $10,000 for a single emergency room visit to momentarily save a life, yet demonstrably unwilling to invest a mere $100 a day for a much-needed bed within a dedicated rehabilitation facility. The gilded cage itself is further fortified by this pervasive chemical dependency. It effectively keeps the dispossessed quiet, rendering them stationary and less visible. And tragically, for far too many, this dependency ensures that the only departure they will ever make from the harsh reality of the sidewalk is, ultimately, in a body bag. Part 4. The Homeless Industrial Complex, the Business of Misery. If the state of California is indeed allocating billions, a staggering figure exceeding $27 billion by 2025, according to comprehensive CALI-CH reports, then why does the intractable problem of homelessness appear more entrenched and permanent than ever before? To uncover the unsettling truth, we must critically examine the phenomenon known as the homeless industrial complex. Within California, the issue of homelessness has tragically metastasized into a massive, multi-layered industry. We have effectively outsourced the very soul of our social safety net to a myriad of thousands of nonprofit organizations. While many of these dedicated groups, such as Housing California or All Home, undoubtedly perform heroic, life-saving work, the overarching system within which they operate appears fundamentally designed for perpetual maintenance, rather than genuine resolution. Consider the stark, undeniable math. A colossal $27 billion budget allocated to address the needs of 308,000 individuals translates to nearly $90,000 per person per year. With such an astronomical sum, the state could conceivably afford to simply rent a luxury apartment for every single homeless person residing in California. So, the pressing question remains, why isn't this seemingly straightforward solution being implemented? Because, quite simply, the insatiable bureaucracy beast must be perpetually fed. We observe CEOs of prominent homeless nonprofits in bustling Los Angeles and San Francisco commanding salaries as high as $400,000 annually. We witness the development of strategic action plans that astonishingly cost $2 million merely to draft. And we see initiatives like Project Home Key, converting vacant buildings into housing units at a renovation cost of $500,000 each, an expenditure that often exceeds the purchase price of a brand new suburban home. It's essentially a self-licking ice cream cone, remarked a former city auditor who spoke to Homeless US under the veil of anonymity. If the persistent problem of homelessness were miraculously solved tomorrow, thousands of well-paid bureaucrats and consultants would suddenly find themselves unemployed. The entire system is perverse, incentivized to manage the crisis, to meticulously maintain it at a level where it remains sufficiently visible to continually demand more funding, yet never truly resolved enough to actually disappear. In the more remote, rural expanses of California, such as Modoc or Mono County, the grim situation is rendered even more dire. Here, small local nonprofits valiantly struggle to operate on shoestring budgets, while the overwhelming lion's share of those billions in funding is disproportionately absorbed by the massive, well-established organizations operating within the state's major metropolitan centers. While Governor Newsom's office proudly reported a 9% drop in unsheltered homelessness in 2025, heralded as the most significant decrease in 15 years, the profound underlying housing void persists unabated. The state remains critically short by an estimated 2.5 million housing units. We are, in effect, housing individuals in temporary shelters and prematurely labeling it a success, all while their lives continue to exist in a perpetual state of permanent transience. We have, regrettably, reduced profound human suffering to a mere line item on a budgetary spreadsheet. And within the confines of this gilded cage, a line item, devoid of its inherent humanity, doesn't actually require a home. It simply needs a dedicated caseworker. Part 5. The final audit, breaking the cage. As the sun gracefully descends over the vast Pacific Ocean, casting its familiar golden glow upon both the gleaming tech towers of San Francisco and the sprawling, desperate tent cities of the Tenderloin, we are compelled to pose a critical question. Is this the future we truly envision, the destiny we desire for ourselves? California, in its current state, serves as an unflinching mirror. It starkly reflects what inevitably transpires when the relentless pursuit of progress tragically neglects the fundamental needs of its people. It unequivocally demonstrates that a society cannot genuinely lay claim to true wealth if it tolerates the indignity of allowing its veterans, its dedicated teachers, and its innocent children to sleep in the unforgiving dirt. The once cherished golden dream has, for many, regrettably transformed into a harsh, gilded cage, a deceptive place where one is superficially free to pursue their life, provided they can somehow afford the astronomical, ever-escalating price of admission. If you cannot meet this exorbitant cost, you are, quite simply, erased from the narrative. Yet, despite its formidable appearance, this oppressive cage can indeed be broken. While the official 2025 to 2027 action plan meticulously outlines ambitious goals for accountability and sophisticated data tracking, what we truly require extends far beyond mere plans. We desperately need a profound revolution of it. To achieve this, we must urgently decouple housing from speculation. Homes must unequivocally serve as fundamental human dwellings first, with the interests of investors placed a clear second. Integrated recovery. We must cease the archaic practice of treating addiction as a moral failing and instead embrace it as a legitimate medical emergency that demands a proper bed for healing, not the cold, indifferent sidewalk. Audit the industry. Every single dollar allocated and spent on addressing homelessness must be rigorously tracked and demonstrably linked to a tangible human result, rather than merely an abstract process metric. Restore the middle class. We must decisively confront and address the pervasive hidden inflation and the suffocating tax burdens that are systematically pushing hardworking families precariously close to the economic abyss. To those of you observing this unfolding crisis from the comfort and security of your own homes, please do not look away. The perceived distance separating you from them is, in reality, far more tenuous than you might imagine. In an economy as inherently volatile as ours, any one of us is merely a few unfortunate breaks away from the stark reality of a safe parking lot. And to the brave, resilient people living in those tents, we see you. Your story is far from over. You embody the very heart of this state's profound struggle, and you deserve infinitely more than a mere 9% drop celebrated in a sterile statistics report. You deserve the dignity and security of a door with a key. Thank you for joining us on Homeless US. This comprehensive investigation into the Gilded Cage marks merely the beginning of our journey. We are steadfastly committed to continuing to shine an unrelenting light into these deep shadows until the promise of the Golden State truly radiates prosperity and dignity for absolutely everyone. Please share this critical story. Help us break the pervasive silence. Let us collectively demand a California that genuinely values human life with the same fervent intensity it currently reserves for gold. We encourage you to leave a comment below. What realities are you witnessing in your own city? How, together, can we collaboratively work towards fixing this profound crisis? Good night and stay vigilant.